Alright guys, so before we get this battle started, I just wanted to let you know that my computer crashed in the midst of recording this, like at the very beginning of the battle, and there was no way I was going to ask Jack to restart the match. Like 2 turns in, my computer just completely froze and blue screen, so I had to restart everything. I lost the recording, so that kind of sucks. That's why it's post-com now. This battle was really good up until a certain part, and I'm probably going to be post-comming it because of that. And also a certain thing happened and I was really upset by it. But let's get this battle started with. So I am actually gonna lead off with my Rotom Heat, I believe. And yep, I lead off with my Rotom Heat. He leads off with his Heliolisk, and this is going to be a longer post-com battle because it was like 62, 67 turns. I swap out, I go straight into my Sylveon because it was the thing that could take a Volt Switch fairly well, and I didn't want to risk a Cert for Focus Blast from this thing on Excadrill. It was definitely a problem. It caused a lot of swap-in. So he brings in Potato. I could have stayed in and gone for an HP ground here, but it wouldn't have killed, and I didn't want to risk any unnecessary damage on my Sylveon. So I decided to swap out and go into my Milotic. So Milotic, Venustus the Milotic, can eat up pretty much any hit, even if it was a Choice Specs one. I believe I take like 30%, and now that he's physical, I take even less. And Earth Power would have probably done the most to me. So he's going to be forced to swap out here. Well, he goes for the Protect here. And I go for a Toxic, predicting him to go into either Heliolisk or Mega Slowbro to take a Scald. And that really sucks because, you know, he knows that I have Toxic now. And I did not want that. So he withdraws Potato. And I go for a, what was it? Dragon Tail, I believe. Yes, I go for a Dragon Tail. And it forces another swap out, and I get some good initiative. And it goes into Mega Slowbro. So the unfortunate part here is that he predicts me to go for Toxic again, because he knows he doesn't want me to get Toxic, because he probably wasn't able to do that. So he goes in the Fortress, able to take it. And I go for a Scald, hoping, you know, I can take pretty much any hits. I don't want to go into Hitmontop at the moment, so that's fine. And he gets his Stealth Rocks up. That's completely okay. So now that I got a Scald off, I was hoping for a burn there. Didn't get the burn. That was a bit unfortunate. And I go straight into, I believe, Hitmontop, just to get rid of his, what was it? Yes, the thingy. Sorry, I'm recording after the work. So he goes for a Volt Switch to get some Switch initiative, which kind of sucks for me. Not really too great, because now he can just straight up bring in his Salamence. Salamence is a problem, because now he can go for a Dragon Dance. But I do have the perfect Pokemon. I get a Fake Out damage, get off Fake Out damage here, just so he can take some of that. And I go straight back into my Milotic, which will prevent him from Dragon Dancing. It won't prevent him from Dragon Dancing, but I'll be able to Dragon Tail him out. And that is my designated swap, and he goes straight for the Dragon Dance. I'm doing really well in this battle so far. And I know I can take a +1 Dragon Claw here. I can take pretty much any move from this thing, barring he has, I don't know, some kind of like electric move that, you know, even then I think I'd take it. Go for the Dragon Claw. That brings me down to a very, very small chunk of health, and really sucks. If I had Ice Beam, I could have taken this thing out, but Dragon Tail is just the better option here, because I don't really need Ice Beam for his team. It brings in his freaking Heliolisk, which really sucks because I wanted to recover up here. So I'm not going to be able to do that. And I'm going to go straight into my Latios, predicting him to just go for either Water move or any other move. And he goes for Focus Blast, predicting my Excadrill to come in, which is fairly good on my part because I eat that up. And now he's gonna have to take a Earthquake. I predict him to go into his Heatran, and I knew Earthquake would one-shot from here, which is very good for me. It was like a 98% chance to OHKO, so it was pretty nice. So that was a great prediction on my part, and really threw him through a loop there. He told me afterwards he got swept by a Dragon Dance Latios. Here I'm thinking, oh, he's got Pursuit. And he actually doesn't have pursuit. He just goes straight up for the knockoff, and I go into my Hitmontop, which can take any hit from this thing. I take a bit of Stealth Rock damage, and he goes for the knockoff. God damn, there's so much stuff here. Jeez. And knocks off my Assault Vest. So I'm not going to be able to take too many special hits, which really sucks. The only thing that I could maybe take is a Scald. Either way, he wouldn't go for Scald. Now he goes into his slow bro, and I get the rapid spin off to allow me to get rid of hazards, which is nice. And I'm gonna go straight into my low tick here. And I know if he had gone for a psychic, that would have killed my low tick, and I would have had a giant problem here. But he goes for Calm Mind after Mega Evolving. Sorry, I'm a little bit ahead of the schedule here. A little bit ahead of the schedule. And he goes for the Calm Mind. And I know I'm not going to be able to take a Psychic, and Dragon Tail, if you didn't know, gives you negative priority. So that would really suck. By the way, since my computer had been off, I wasn't able to do damage calcs. So I was playing a bit safe. I didn't know. So I recover up just to see if I can take a Psychic and go for another Dragon Tail, so he can't sweep me with his fucking Mega Slowbro. And I'm able to take one more, which is amazing. So I'm going to have to go for a Dragon Tail and get rid of this Mega Slowbro. Not get rid of it, but get it out of my face, because I don't like Mega Slowbro. He's a jerk. And I Dragon Tail, and I believe it brings him into Weavile here. Yep, there's the Weavile. So that kind of sucks for me. I can't take a knockoff. I could take any other move, just not a knockoff. I'm gonna have to swap straight into my Hitmontop again, which is my designated Pokemon for this Weavile. Now, I get the Intimidate off. He can't really do too much to me. He goes for another knockoff, knowing that's the only thing that could OHKO that Milotic from there. I mean, maybe a low kick could have done a decent amount. And I go for a Mach Punch here. I should have gone for a close combat. I should have predicted him to swap into something else. But, oh, I actually went for a close combat. Never mind, Mach Punch might be later. And it does a decent amount to this thing. It's a good thing he's not Rocky Helmet, because that would have hurt me a bit. He's leftovers. Now, the only thing I really have for this fortress is Venustus. And I knew I could take a Volt Switch, because at this point, I got my computer back on, because this was like 30-40 minutes into the battle. I could take a Volt Switch, I knew that. I wanted to be able to get a Recover off. And I was predicting him to set up rocks again, but he actually just goes for another hazard and goes straight into his damn Heliolisk, which forces me to swap out, because I need this Milotic to get rid of all his setup mons. So I go into Wake and Bake, knowing I could take a Volt Switch and even a Focus Blast if I needed to. So he Volt Switches and goes straight into, I believe he goes into Salamence here. Yep, there it is, Salamence. And I was actually thinking I could take him out from here with a Thunderbolt, because it does 60 to 70%. And he goes into his Heliolisk, which is fine. I get Thunderbolt damage off on this thing. I should have Volt Switched. I didn't expect him to swap out there, so that's kind of bad. I go straight into my Sylveon, because he can't really do too much to me. He goes for a Focus Blast, and he misses. Doesn't matter, I would have eaten that up anyways. And now I am free to go for a Hyper Voice. So he swaps out and goes into Fortress, I believe. And Hyper Voice doesn't do too much here. But at this point, it's enough for me to take him out with another, even after Leftovers Recovery. So after, I don't know how many turns here, I get another kill. So Hyper Voice is able to take out the Fortress. I was really thinking it wouldn't because of how low damage it did, but it ends up taking it out. I get full Leftovers. I'm almost at full with HP, so that's nice. He brings in his Salamence. I'm thinking, oh, he probably has a Steel type move here, which is fine. I could take any Steel type move it had so far, and the Iron Tail wouldn't have killed it. Would have done 70 to 80, 70 to 90, and I take him out with the Hyper Voice, so that's fine. Unless he crit there, that hacks that hacks did matter, and it didn't matter at the same time, because it would have brought me low enough to take me out in later turns. So that kind of sucked for him. Now he goes straight into his freaking Mega Slowbro. And you know, I hate this thing. I really do. I swap into Milotic because I just predicted him to go for a Calm Mind. And I know I can take another Psychic after I get a Recover up because I outspeed. I don't know if this thing gets any electric moves, by the way. I would imagine it could get Thunderbolt, maybe, but I doubt it. So I get a Recover off. I need to be able to take a Psychic and go for a Dragon Tail, because I can't let him set up. Actually, he goes for another one. So, yeah, that's not good. I can't let this thing set up. So, it's definitely a problem, and I'm pretty certain here that I can take another Psychic. So I go for the Dragon Tail to get him out of here, and I live on 41, which is so amazing. Milotic is an absolute beast, and that Dragon Tail does so little. It told me he was he had some physical investment, but not a whole bunch, because that thing has like base 180 defense. It brings him into his damn Weavile. So I go straight back into my Hitmontop, right round. You spin me right round, right round. Okay, never mind. Hitmontop is my Mon, and he goes for a Swords Dance, trying to, you know, possibly sweep me up here. But, you know, I go for a Mach Punch thinking he'd want to stay in, but he actually doesn't. And he goes into his stupid Mega Slowbro, which is the worst freaking Mon ever. I never had a clean switch in to my Mon that would be able to take this thing out, which is this. He goes for a Psychic, which is, you know, what I predicted him to go for. He wouldn't go for a Scald on Milotic. I mean, not Milotic. Was it Milotic I had it? I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. And I go for the Volt Switch here, which is completely fine with me, because I get the initiative, because I knew he was going to swap out. He didn't want to take a Thunderbolts. And at this point, I haven't lost a single Pokemon. I go back into my Icarus, the Sylveon. He goes for a Thunderbolt, and that does a little tiny bit of damage. And I go for a Hyper Voice and take out this goddamn Heliolisk, which has been the most annoying Mon ever. And at this point, I believe he only has his Mega Slowbro and his Weavile. So it's 2-6 here. 2-6. And 6 in my favor. So I swap into my Latios, knowing that I can take a Psychic, and I want to get a Shadow Ball off and do a decent amount of damage to this goddamn Mega Slowbro, because it's a giant problem to my team, because I can't do too much to it. So I go for Shadow Ball, and at first I get a Special D-Drop, which is amazing. And it really sucks because I definitely could have taken him out here. I could have predicted him to, he actually goes for a Slack Off after I go for the Shadow Ball, which, you know, is fine. I'd actually be able to take him out with the Shadow Ball here, but he swaps out, preserving the Mega Slowbro, and that really sucks. So now he brings in Weavile. The Shadow Ball's not going to be doing too much to the Weavile, but it'll do a decent chunk for a resisted hit. And here, it's a definite problem, because I bring in Hitmontop, and now I can't Dragon Tail the Mega Slowbro out anymore. So after I kill this thing with a possible Mach Punch, I guess he could have swapped in Mega Slowbro one more time and preserve this thing, but he predicted me to go into Sylveon here, which is fine. He should have predicted me to go into Hitmontop. I'd just go for the Mach Punch and take this thing out. It was probably a better play for him to go into his Mega Slowbro. This was a long battle, by the way. We had about 17 or 7 minutes left. So here comes the Mega Slowbro. And this really sucks, because he's going to set up a Calm Mind here. I believe he actually goes for a Psychic, trying to take out my Hitmontop. I actually go for a Wish, because I want my Latios to be able to take more hits than it can, because I know this thing is going to want to set up a bunch of Calm Minds, and he goes for a Calm Mind here, which really sucks. And I did a calc, and I didn't know if I could take a Psychic from a +1 Mega Slowbro, because I didn't know if he was modest or not, and if he was invested in special attack. So I swap into my Latios, hoping that I can take this Psychic from 55 HP. And I am so happy because I live on 5. And I get my wish up and brings me back up to half again. And that is amazing. I go for a Shadow Ball. And even at +1, it's going to do a decent amount. Now this really sucks here, because this is the play that matters. I go for... I should have been safe. I should have been safe and gone for the Shadow Ball. But I go for a Draco Meteor, thinking I wouldn't be able to take him out. And it misses! It misses. And that matters so much, because it would have been a 6-0 after that Draco. Draco is not a freaking 75% accurate move. So I go for a Shadow Ball here, thinking it'll do a decent amount. And it does. It does do a decent amount. But he gets another Calm Mind up. And at this point, I believe he's +3. This really sucks. He's either +3 or +4. I can't do much to this thing. I really can't. So I'm basically just trying to Shadow Ball it and get a special D drop until I'm able to kill this thing. And it's I guess I could have gone into my low tick as a backup plan, but I wasn't at the point where I could go into my low tick and Toxic and him go for an attacking move and me live it. I would have not lived it because I believe I was at like 40 something HP and I would have not lived any move from this thing. So this really sucks because he's basically stalling me out and letting me die to Life Orb because I can't even do much. I can't do much. And here's where I go for another Shadow Bomb. I don't know, this is a bit stally here. It's the end of the battle. I can't really do too much about that. So that really does suck because I can't fucking do anything here. I can't do anything. And he's just gonna slack off and keep slacking off until he sweeps me. And I go for another Draco, and you're kidding me? It misses again. I am never using Draco again after this. This is so stupid. Literally, it was the worst timing ever. I should have just gone for a Shadow Ball and won. But no, it's completely my fault. Going for the Draco. I didn't damage calc it like I should have. +2. It probably would have killed him. At this time, I think he's +5 with Calm Minds. Like, there's literally nothing I can do here to take him out with a move. And I get a special D drop, but then I live on 1. So that's a bit of a problem. He goes for another slack off. And pretty much all I can do is Shadow Ball this thing. All I can do is just continue Shadow Balling it. And that's like the worst thing ever. It is literally the worst thing ever. So now what I do after Latios kills itself to Life Orb recoil. So no kill for that Mega Slowbro there. He didn't take out that mon, I took out myself. But he goes for a slack off knowing I'd kill myself. Which is annoying. Extremely annoying. More annoying than you know. And I go into my low tick knowing I outspeed this thing. And the only way I ever take this thing out now is if I go for a Toxic and stall him out. Which I probably would not be able to do, keeping all my mons intact. I should have gone out and Toxic'd him a long time ago. But I was so panicked he'd go for a move that would kill my low tick. And I didn't think rationally. So I go into Sylveon to rack up this poison damage, and lucky for me he doesn't have rest. I go for Protect just to, you know, preserve it a bit. And I really wanted to pass a wish here to my Rotom. So, you know, I was thinking, hey, if I, you know, somehow live a hit at all, I'd get a wish off, bring him back into HP, because it would have possibly killed it. I could have killed it with the Rotom. You know, it kind of sucks. But the important thing here is that the toxic damage is racking up. So he knows that if he doesn't take my Rotom out here, that I'm going to be able to take him out with Thunderbolts eventually. So he goes for a Scald and takes out my Rotom, which really does suck. It really sucks because this could have been a 6-0. This would have been the first 6-0 of the season, and I would have been top of the board, and it would have been amazing. And unfortunately, because Draco missed, I missed out on that. And I bring in Mifune, the Excadrill, his first appearance all season, just to take out this stupid fucking Mega Slowbro. And goodbye, Mega Slowbro. That was one of the biggest changes in a battle ever. So if you guys enjoy this, go check out Jack's channel. Link in the description below. I will see you guys next battle.